Hello, everybody. This is, of course, the 2021 candidate for governor of Virginia. My name is Merle Rutledge Jr., and, of course, I'm the not-so-typical Republican, and, of course, no longer business as usual, and the playtime is over motto. And, of course, some hope, and I wish you would, is my way of campaigning. Now, after going out to Surrey County this morning, I had my GPS going crazy, so I knew the devil was at work. So I spent 20 minutes trying to figure out which highway to get on so I could get out there to Surrey County, so I could go to this men's breakfast and bond with fellow Republicans and fellow conservatives all over Surrey. After I got on track, I made it to Surrey County, enjoyed a great breakfast with the works at New Harvest Church out there off of Old Burroughs Road. I believe I have it correct, in Surrey County, and I can say I had a wonderful time. But every time I seem to go out to the church of our God or Lord, regardless of the situation, I can say even at church my mind is wandering around as I'm getting knowledge, and of course my spirit, which may be thirsty, is having its thirst quenched. So at that time period, after firing up the base, which I normally do, and thank God, I said a lot of people prayed for me because it was a close couple of encounters, because you know how strong my language is, and they said exactly, you're passionate about what you need to do. And I said exactly, yeah, I had a couple of close calls, but I wanted the message to be clear. I'm tired of the kids that are politicians not being adults up there in Richmond. I said I'm tired of the kids being politicians, not being leaders in D.C. in the swamp. I said that very few leaders, but a bunch of followers and those who blame everybody instead of take accountability and responsibility for a duty bestowed on them. Now, after I got done, and you can see the speech is up there, it's a little choppy, but I can say off the break I did what I had to do to let people know they have confidence that God will be protected, and there's a such thing as separation of church and state, and they knew I love firearms and love the ability to defend myself, and I'll definitely let it be known that the church will secure itself any kind of way it feels and deems proper to make sure people can worship in peace and know that the government is not going to infringe on the religious freedom that has been passed down from centuries to centuries as America became this more perfect union. Now, after doing that, some epiphany came because somebody told me about Northam's leadership. And I said, you know what, every time I smell a liberal, every time I hear about a Democrat, it's time for me to really speak the truth, because I believe I spent the last hour talking about how damaged America has become and how our leadership has become in handling these problems across America, which is burning our country down. And I said to myself, I said, the Commonwealth Attorneys are even scared. I said, all the public officials are scared. I said, the governor's scared. I said, the top leadership is scared. Scared to handle business and be a parent to a state. Be a leader to a state and make sure you right the wrong. I said, leadership on the Democrats in Northam and the rest of those hillbilly type of Democrats that believe in ruling by a mob, meaning the mob tells them what to do and they go ahead and give them a buffet of policy changes. That doesn't happen under Rutledge. Like I told people, under Rutledge, you ain't getting a buffet of policy changes. You're getting a buffet of hard, cold punishment, and we making sure we deal with things like adults, because you ain't gonna be burning my house down and you tell me you're gonna do that and think you're gonna go ahead and get away with it. That doesn't happen in Merle Rutledge administration. That's why you gotta be careful who you vote for in November 2020 and who you vote for in November 2021. You only vote Rutledge. That's it. There's nobody else that can get the job done. And pay attention, people, because God spoke to me. He always speaks to me at times that I don't expect, because that's exactly why he put me in the race. He said, I don't expect you to be perfect. Actually, I don't expect you to be polite. Actually, I expect you to be a little, but I want to tell you, I ain't through with you yet. You got some more business that you have to go ahead and take care of. You got to take care of not only the state's business, but you got to make sure my church and my places of worship is protected. I didn't tell you that you do a half-ass job. I told you, you make sure you get the job done and make sure it's complete. Mission complete. Once again. And I said this. I said, I called out to the Commonwealth Attorneys and the rest. They just got the message today. I said, you reinstate those charges on those who riot, those who don't believe in peaceful protest, because you were cowards. You said, I'm going to dismiss the charges without no consequence. I said, exactly. That's why Virginia is in the condition it is right now, where businesses are fleeing and people are leaving the state because they feel they should no longer care about rule of law. That's been a huge problem. And I said, you know what? Forget that. I said, I'm going to straighten y'all out when the time is right. But right now, I'm going to let America know we have weak governor. We have weak Democrats that lead. And right now, this is the biggest problem. I said, exactly. What if it was my call? If it was my decision? I would say exactly. You don't dismiss the charges. You have every single one of those SOBs that burned down a building, threw a rock to a building, who got arrested. I said, no, it's going to be some community service. I said, exactly. You know why? And I said, also, don't think it's just a Black Lives Matter or Antifa thing. I said, anybody who decided to be a problem and got arrested for criminal activity, that includes all of y'all. Because I want y'all to clean up the damage you caused. That's what the community service will require. I would say 500 hours for each year. So since it's about hundreds of arrests, that means Public Works gets hundreds of extra employees that earned the job this time, because you earned the job to clean up Virginia and clean up Virginia businesses and clean up all the damage, all the glass, all that stuff. And I said, you know what I want to see is those about peaceful protests ride past them. I want 2A to ride past them and honk their horn. I want you to honk their horn at them, because I want them on display, working together, black, white, Hispanic, whoever caused the mess, working together to clean off the graffiti, put back up those statues. I want you sweating. I want you to understand what hard work was for those people who lost their businesses and lost their homes. I want you to understand how hard it was for them to get to that point and how you tried to destroy it. I would have all these hundreds lined up all up and down Richmond, all up and down every city, Virginia Beach, Hampton, wherever they caused the problem. And I would say, I would call up to the militias. I said, hey, it may not be enough sheriff deputies to supervise. I want to go ahead and deputize the parents that are leading Virginia. Not the politicians, the parents. To help the sheriff deputies supervise all of them cleaning up their cities. Because this time frame, you could get all that anger and frustration all out with each other cleaning up America. You made the mess. I didn't, as a law-abiding citizen. The taxpayers who pay taxes don't believe in burning down this stuff that caused this problem. You did. So I ain't going to feel sorry for you. And the peaceful protesters, they're going to allow to keep peacefully protesting. But those who were troublemakers and got arrested for legitimate crimes and reasons, you would be cleaning up Virginia. Now, after it's all said and done, then we could talk about dismissal. That's when we can say, hey, let's consider it. Did you learn a lesson by cleaning up all of it? Did you learn burning down the bridge was not going to give you what you want? Did you? And guarantee after that, we will see leadership in them because they will understand not to put themselves back in this situation. And me as governor ain't playing your game. Because see, people don't understand the consequence unless they are held accountable. And when they are, just like kids that grow up and you hold them accountable for when they do wrong, they learn from that and learn not to repeat the behavior and learn other ways that are peaceful, because the peaceful protesters would not be cleaning up your damage. The peaceful protesters would go on about their business. Like 2A, they went to Richmond, had their rally with way more people out there than ever before, probably way more than the protesters that burnt down the city. And afterwards, they cleaned up the area, and there wasn't graffiti, there wasn't businesses destroyed. It was a stimulus to the economy, which Mayor Stoney should appreciate. Obviously, he's so much governing to cowards and being a coward himself, nobody knows where the leadership. And that was my message today of leadership. And also, nor Virginia, nor should anybody else negotiate as law-abiding citizens with terrorists. I said, this is the moment where we deal with the spoil in society. I'm sorry my other opponents don't talk like this, but see, I learned throughout this race, it ain't about you being up in the polls at the beginning. It's about where you finish. And like I said, my message is resonating all over Virginia. And I said to myself, I don't need to raise $30,000 by midnight, because I don't know who needs $30,000 by midnight. Not me. I'm running this without worrying about the money, without worrying about the accolades, not worrying about being bought off or having $20,000 from BCBL to go ahead and defend something that's in my heart and soul. I do it for free and been doing it. I don't need that type of help. I don't need that type of strings pulling me like a puppet when I'm already on your side. I'm on your side because I believe in protecting my family and myself just like you do. I don't need to be paid for that. But like I said, I call on the Commonwealth Attorneys, and I call on all of you that are watching my Facebook Lives. Send a letter to the Commonwealth Attorney. Call up your public leaders, especially your city manager and public works and your Commonwealth Attorney, and say, I need for you to watch Merle Rutledge's video. He's showing leadership. He's saying he wouldn't dismiss the charges like you did. He's saying you're a coward. He's saying that you are the kid and the criminals are the adults showing you how to grow up, showing you how to prosecute. And you talk that tough about other criminals in the courtroom, but you can't do it when it's actually necessary for those who need leadership. That's where the crisis is, and that's where the silence has applied to cause us right now to be in a state of fear. Not me, but have our families in fear because they need the leadership that they are not seeing right now here in Virginia or in America. That's a Democratic problem, and I do blame Republicans because it should have been a call on the back. You do not dismiss charges. You do not allow people who damage and destroy property and our monuments and vandalize them. You send a message and sentence them to clean up that mess. And then once we see that they have learned their lesson, that's what we require as parents when we try to teach our kids how to behave and how to be law-abiding. We try to reinforce that you learn from this. And like I said, when all of these people are together and cleaning up, what would they say during the cleanup process? This was not worth it. I could be at home. I could be free right now to do what I want to do, but I had to show my ass. And Governor Rutledge is running the state. And you know what they're going to say at the end of it? When they walk across the stage and learn their lesson, when they become law-abiding citizens and understand that we don't give you shit, you earn it. What they're going to do, they're going to thank Merle Rutledge. They're going to think like they thank their parents. They're going to thank them because they said, I could have been dead following in these footsteps. I could have. But what you told me and showed me, I need to take accountability for my actions. And I saw what happens when I do wrong. And I don't want to do wrong again. I want to show you, Merle Rutledge, I want to show all the citizens in the Commonwealth of Virginia, I'm better than that. And you know what I'm going to be doing? Looking at that young man or young woman who used to cause trouble. I'm going to say I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to help you find your path. Because you're showing me, you're showing Virginia that we believe in second chances, but it's earned, not given. And it shows you how to protect history like your own. And make sure that you don't burn it down, but you embrace the lessons learned from it. That's why I'm running for governor of Virginia, because I'm not seeing the basics of leadership. Sometimes you don't need somebody who's a career politician, because the career politicians is already there and not showing it. So like I said, you make the phone calls. You write your emails and write your letters. You can attach this Facebook Live and say, that's leadership. And you say, that's exactly what I want. I want you, because see, they could bring back the charges. All they said that they are not prosecuting it yet and giving up a white flag of surrender for this nonsense. We lose businesses. We lose revenue. We lose Virginia families. We lose our neighbors and our friends because they feel like they cannot be protected in Virginia. And I don't want that happening. And I'm making sure that they know while I'm still running, you hold on. You hold on for another year. Wait for Merle Rutledge to get there. And like I said, the state is closed. I'm going to reopen it. Like I said, this is one of those diseases like cancer or any other cold. It's going to be here. People are not dying at the rate which the liberal media tries to bring out that they're recovering at the highest rate. But the fact is, leadership is going to be where the adults is at the adult table, and we need to send them career politicians back to the kiddie table so they can learn from the adults. That's why I'm running for Virginia governor 2021. Not lieutenant governor, not attorney general, governor of Virginia. Get it straight. 2021. Merle Rutledge, the only choice to go ahead and fix this mess with true, authentic, conservative leadership. Don't expect me to be perfect. Expect me to get the job done, and expect me to get my hands dirty if I have to. But I'm doing it for the love of my state and the love of my country and for the love of my God, because my God said, don't leave my kids alone. And I won't. That's what those other politicians did. So everybody have a wonderful weekend. Get to work, get them letters out there, do what you have to do, sign the petition. It's called the George Floyd Cleanup Petition, because I don't want his name associated with it. I don't want police officers knowing they died for this type of result. I don't want innocent law-abiding citizens to know that they died for this to happen. We are taking back Virginia, and I'm not going to be nice or polite about it. We are doing it on behalf of those who will lead those generations that we leave behind. It's time for us to step up. That's what Trump is saying. That's what our God is saying. That's what the leadership is needed, that's necessary, is saying. So, you have a choice to vote for these career politicians that's still doing this. Or you could bring your bigger and badder wolf named Merle Rutledge to get the job done. And I hope you vote. I hope you support. I hope you volunteer. Do what you got to do and bring whatever to the table to get Virginia back.